It's very common for people in their 40s, 50s and 60s to experience shoulder pain from joint instability due to a weakness in their rotator cuff muscle group. So I'm going to take you through 5 exercises to build a stronger foundation for your shoulders. Hi everyone and welcome to Exercise for Health, and in this video I'm going to give you methods of assessing and treating your shoulder pain. Although these exercises will help a large majority of people with this ailment, it won't be suitable for everyone or every shoulder condition, so be sure to check with your healthcare professional first. The rotator cuff is a small group of 4 muscles that attach the scapula or shoulder blade with the humerus or upper arm, whose key role is to provide dynamic stability of the shoulder joint to allow for a natural freedom of movement so the shoulder can flex, extend, abduct, adduct, horizontally abduct, horizontally adduct, externally rotate, internally rotate, and therefore circumduct. They all work together, but if one of them is affected by a small tear or inflammation from an injury or long-term overuse, then you can experience pain, weakness, and stiffness in the shoulder complex. So let's look at the 4 muscles, provide both a dysfunction test and an exercise for each one. And if you stick around to the end, I have a bonus 5th exercise that can help overall shoulder strength and mobility, as well as improve your posture, which is all related. Let's start with the supraspinatus, which is the smallest and most frequently damaged of the rotator cuff muscle group. Pain will generally be experienced on the front, side, or top of the shoulder, which is made worse when trying to raise your arm up overhead. If it's weak, you will struggle to keep your arm elevated in the scapular plane against a resistance, where it's approximately 30 to 40 degrees forwards from the side of your body, with your thumb pointing down. This is known as the empty can test, and it's a good idea to assess both sides to make a comparison. A great way to target this muscle and improve overall shoulder blade stability is the scaption exercise, which is similar to the test. While holding a light dumbbell in each hand and your feet providing a stable base of support, bring your shoulders down and back first, then raise the arms in that scapular plane to create a wide V shape, but this time with the extended thumbs pointing upwards, before slowly returning to the starting position. Just ensure you don't shrug your shoulders during the movement. Next, let's focus on the infraspanatus muscle, where pain can be experienced on the back of the shoulder, and it's the muscle most people will commonly exercise for strengthening their rotator cuff. If it's weak, you will struggle to maintain the width of your fists if they're pressed inwards with your elbows in front of you, as shown in this test here, as one will feel more difficult to restrict movement. An exercise to strengthen this muscle is the seated external shoulder rotation with the joint in a fixed flex position. You can use a hand weight, such as a dumbbell, where the load will be at its highest at the bottom of the movement, or use a resistance or therapy band where the load will be highest at the top. If you want to be really smart, then you can try the exercise with both. Your elbow should be supported on your knee so that it's slightly lower than shoulder height, and you essentially work within a 90-degree arc, ensuring a slow movement on the way down and pausing at the bottom for a couple of seconds. The 3rd muscle that has a similar function to the infraspanatus is terrace minor. Pain will generally be experienced on the side or back of the shoulder, and it will be worse when trying to grab the seatbelt from behind you in a car. Like with the previous test, but this time with your elbows out at your side, you will struggle to move your arms up into a field goal position, externally rotating your shoulders against a resistance. An exercise to strengthen this muscle is the side-lying horizontal abduction movement, holding a light weight. This is best performed on a bed or sofa to allow for a greater range of movement, and you can roll your torso forward slightly. Keep the dumbbell in alignment with the shoulder, moving through your center line and within a 90-degree arc, so not quite reaching vertical. And even with a light weight, you will feel it in the back of the shoulder after a few slow controlled reps. For enhanced stimulation of the teres minor muscle, try externally rotating the shoulder during the movement so the thumbs point upwards when the arm is in its highest position. The 4th and final rotator cuff muscle is subscapularis, which is the largest of the 4 rotator cuff muscles. Pain will usually be felt on the front or back of the shoulder and even on the inside or back of the upper arm, which will feel worse with movement, particularly internal rotation like throwing a ball. To test if there is any subscapularis dysfunction, place the back of one hand onto the lumbar spine and you will struggle to be able to lift the hand away from the lower back. To target this muscle to improve its strength, use a looped resistance band around your elbow, anchored behind you so it pulls the elbow back with your hand on your tummy. Move to a position to get a bit of tension on the band, then draw your elbow forwards, stretching the band, trying to get it to the side of you before slowly returning back. For any of the aforementioned exercises, 1 to 3 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions on 2 or 3 days a week will be optimum, and you only need to pick the ones that will be effective relief for your specific shoulder pain. But doing all of them will help improve overall shoulder strength and stability. Now, I also have a 5th bonus exercise that won't be for everyone as it's a bit more advanced, but it can greatly improve shoulder mobility whilst also working the rotator cuff muscles and the upper and lower back muscles to help with your posture. Lying on your front, try to lift your upper body whilst raising your legs if you can without any low back pain, and circle both arms from above your head where the palms of the hands are together, out to the sides where the palms face down, to behind your back where the palms face up. You won't need any additional weight or resistance because gravity acting upon your arms will be sufficient, and it will activate your lower trapezius and rhomboid muscles in the upper back that aid with shoulder blade movement while rotating your shoulder. Try keeping your arms lifted away from the floor as much as possible throughout the movement, then reverse it to return back to the start. Many of the muscles in the posterior chain are actively working to either hold your body position or to generate the arm movement, so you may only manage a few of these, but possibly as many as 5 or 6. However, if this movement is too difficult or increases your pain, then leave it until such time that you can do it without aggravating your symptoms. I hope the exercises in this video help reduce your shoulder pain. If you found it useful, please give it a like by clicking the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing if you haven't already. You can check out the description below for further information, including a playlist link to other videos for the shoulders on this channel. But thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay active and keep moving to feel better.
E